Oh, how you doing, Mr. DJ? Counting down my fancy playlist of July 24th, 1994. Got quite a few got a mix of stuff on this fancy playlist. I'm proud of my fancy playlist. On this fancy playlist, got the jams, got the rap jams. I'm mad, got funkified coming up later on, but the brat, pop music, dance music, and the alternative bands, the Freddie Jones Band, and the Spin Doctors, and now we got Toad the Wet Sprocket at number 26, up 9 from 35. Fancy playlist of July 24th, 1994. The song is called Fall Down by Toad the Wet Sprocket. It's from their album, one of their albums. It might have been their fourth or fifth album called Dulcinea. Glenn Phillips wrote this song along with Todd Nichols, both of them members of Toad the Wet Sprocket. Glenn Phillips, the singer-songwriter, and Todd Nichols, the lead guitarist of Toad the Wet Sprocket. They formed back in 1986. Glenn Phillips was 16 years old when this band formed. And the oldest guy was about 19 or 20 years old when Toad the Wet Sprocket coalesced or got together in 1986, released their debut album in 1988, 1989 through their own record label called Abe's Records, I believe. It was called Bread and Circuses, and they got a deal with Columbia Records around 1988, 1989. They put out another album in 1990, and then Fear. That was the album that broke them into the big time. They got some airplay on MTV beforehand, which was important because MTV was still playing videos back in the late 80s, early 90s. When you get into the late 80s and early 90s, you're looking at the tail end of MTV's golden years. But Fear, All I Want, the big single was All I Want off that album back in the summer of 1992. It was a big radio hit. The FM radio stations, they went all over that one. And for good reason. It was a radio-friendly record. It just feels good. It just feels good listening to the record. Got a great beat to it, too. And then there was the thoughtful Walk on the Ocean, which came out back in the winter of 1992 and 93. And then Dulcinea, the album came out in 1994. Something's always wrong. That was a fantastic song off the album. That was one of the big hits off that album, and also Fall Down. Fall Down was a big alternative hit on Billboard's Hot 100. It got as high as number 33, I believe. And I believe that's it. They put out a total of about 5 albums, and Glenn Phillips released a solo album around 2001. It might have been a little bit earlier than that. But they released an album. They released a total of about 5 albums, Toad the Wet Sprocket, and they're at number 26 with "Fall Down" on my fantasy playlist, July 24th, 1994.